I'm Masiga Shegusembacha together with
Nwahereza Bill Clinton
to bring you today's news update. We'll start with what's happening in the papers today. In the Daily Monitor, scientists unveil plan to keep maize clean. Scientists at the National Agriculture Research Organization have announced a major breakthrough in developing a product which they say during trials reduced pre-harvest aflatoxin contamination by 80% upwards. And also car owners to pay 735,000 shillings for new number plates. They break it down for you. The cost of the new digital number plates is depends. It's 735,000. 25% is import duty, 20% environment levy, 18% value-added tax, and 6% is withholding tax. 2.4 million is the estimated number of motor vehicles in Uganda, and over 1.4 million motorcycles. The details are in today's Daily Monitor on page 6. And government to spend 132 billion shillings on census tablets. Court quashes outdated marriage laws. And also Uganda yet to feel the value of parish development model cash. And also Arua women start work on 4 billion shilling silverfish stall. Be cautious when choosing schools, Bishop tells parents, and very many other stories in today's Daily Monitor. There are job opportunities and tenders, also deals at Bank of Uganda, ECIUM, the World Food Program, FIA, UBF, KCB, Kenfreight, UNOC, ETC, and get yourself a copy of the Daily Monitor and get to know where you can find a job opportunity or a tender. Bill, what's happening in today's New Vision?
In the New Vision, Jessica Alupo visits Ethiopian Prime Minister. Vice President Jessica Alupo paid a courtesy call on the Ethiopian Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed yesterday. Those details of the story on page 8 of the New Vision. The others, Prime Minister Nabanja pledges cooperation with detectives. That is the new details on the office of the Prime Minister Iron Sheet saga. You shall see that story in our today's New Vision. To run through who is behind mass land eviction in Bunyoro, that is the story is on page 3 of the New Vision of today. Clergy and the elderly meet President. President Yoweri Museveni poses with a photo with the Anglican Bishop and Buganda elder, led by Bishop Michael Ruwowa of Central Buganda Diocese at State House in Entebbe. More of these details are in our New Vision today. 42 billion shillings budgeted for new A-level curriculum. If you shall interest yourself on page 4 of our today's New Vision. Lastly, Ki Nigerinya, murder suspects pleads guilty. Wow, on page 26 of the New Vision.
Well, off to our international news update. We'll start with what's happening on the continent of Africa. An independent UN human rights expert has accused the Central African Republic's armed forces and their rationalized from the Wagner Group of multiple rights abuses. After attending a visit to the Central African Republic, Yao Agbetse, who's Togolese, called on the government to investigate allegations of summary executions and disappearances leveled against the Russian mercenaries, particularly Mambere Kadei Prefecture. The group is reported to be exploiting gold reserves there. Mr. Agbetse also said the Russians and the military were obstructing the UN mission in the country, something he called unacceptable. They have not yet commented on the allegations. And still here in Africa, the authorities in Tunisia have summoned the head of the main opposition party for questioning. The Islamist Ennahda party said its leader, Rached Ghannouchi, had been asked to present himself at a petrol station in the capital, Tunis. Police have arrested several prominent figures critical of President Kais Saied in recent weeks. They include senior Ennahda politicians, the head of an independent radio station, and influential businessman and 2 judges. President Saied, who dissolved parliament in 2022 before rewriting the constitution, says his actions are necessary to save Tunisia from chaos. His critics have denounced the moves as an anti-democratic coup.
The U.S. will back Ukraine in its fight against Russia for as long as it takes, U.S. President Joe Biden has said on an unannounced visit to Kyiv. Mr. Biden's first trip to Ukraine as president came days before the anniversary of Russia's invasion. He said that Russia's President Vladimir Putin had been dead wrong to think Russia could outlast Ukraine and its Western allies. He met Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky and the pair visited a memorial soldiers who have died in the 9 years since Russia annexed Crimea and its proxy forces captured parts of the eastern Donetsk region. Mercy.
And rescuers are once again searching for people trapped under rubble in Turkey after 2 new earthquakes hit the country, killing at least 3 people. Tremors of 6.4 and 5.8 magnitude struck in the southeast near the border with Syria, where massive quakes devastated both countries on the 6th of February. The earlier quakes killed 44,000 people in Turkey and Syria, with tens of thousands more left homeless. Buildings weakened by those tremors collapsed in both countries on Monday. Turkey's Disaster and Emergency Agency said the 6.4 tremor occurred at 24 local time, followed by the 5.8 quake 3 minutes later. And officials in East Palestine, Ohio, are opening a health clinic for residents after a train accident sparked health fears. A Norfolk Southern train derailed in the Midwestern town on the 3rd of February, releasing toxic chemicals into the air. Since then, residents have reported headaches, nausea, burning eyes, and sore throats. The clinic will offer nurses, mental health specialists, and toxicologists. That's according to the Ohio's Department of Health. Frustrated residents say they have been unable to get clear answers from officials regarding the safety of the town following the disaster.
An assault rifle and 163 rounds of ammunition taken from a man about to board a plane in New Orleans on Valentine's Day in an example of a trend identified by U.S. officials. In some parts of the country, more passengers are attempting to bring their guns through airport security. While 2022 was a record year for guns found at U.S. airport checkpoints, the TSA says 2023 may well beat it. Officers in Seattle, Washington, D.C. and Indianapolis have all raised the alarm. The TSA intercepted a record of 6,542 guns at airport checkpoints across the U.S. last year. Some 88% of them are loaded with ammunition. Mercy to you.
Well, a mission is underway to rescue an Australian professor and 3 local researchers being held hostage by an armed group in Papua New Guinea, PNG. Police Chief David Manning said the security forces would use whatever means necessary up to and including lethal force to free the group. The team were on a field study trip in remote highlands when they were captured on an unspecified date. A ransom has been demanded for their release, according to local officials. The Australian Broadcasting Corporation has reported that a larger group was initially kidnapped and some local guides have since been released. Well, that brings us to the end of this morning's news update. Thank you for watching Channel 44. Bill, do you have something for our audience?
Mercy, Dr. Christine Odoa, the Director General of Uganda AIDS Commission, has released a red flag over the rate of which girls get HIV. He says that 500 girls get HIV every week.
Oh my God.
Such a dismay. We stay alert.
Yeah, we need to keep ourselves safe from HIV. It's still rampant and it still kills. Make sure you are protected whenever you are to engage in something intimate. Well, the past Pastors Now program is up next here on Channel 44. Stay tuned and get to know the testimonies of different people of how they have been impacted here at the Miracle Center Cathedral during the services, during the dream interpretation. We've had deliverance sessions. All that is going to happen is going to be brought to you in the Pastors Now program. And also as we prepare for the Juba Crusade, Pastor Robert Kanja will be in South Sudan from the 4th to the 6th of March, just a few weeks from now. Well, God bless you. Remember to bless the people of Karamoja, and you'll be tremendously blessed. Enjoy your morning.